So many times I thought you'd leave me. Broken inside, I feel I've lost my sanity. I don't believe in happy endings. Bottle my pride and hope you'd still love me in the end. Didn't want to leave your arms, but I feel like you wouldn't. You left my soul to starve. I don't believe I'm the one. Ooh, I can't show that I'm hurting. You can't know that I'm worried. I gave up in a hurry just to know I'm safe. Love is a fire and I'm burning.
Okay, hello guys. So today's video is going to be fun. As you can tell by the title, we're going to be teaching Kimanie how to rear. Now before I get into this video, I want to, please don't skip this, this is very important. Please, if you're going to teach your horse to rear, take responsibility as the owner, because some horses, not all, will, after you teach it to them a couple times, they'll just start doing it all the time. And a lot of people won't correct them for it because they're like, oh yeah, she or he is finally rearing, woohoo. Well, if you're not asking them to do it, you need to be correcting them. Whether everybody has a different way, whether it's backing them up, jerking on the halter to get them back down, sending them off and making them move their feet, whatever it is that you need to do to correct them, do that. Because if not, you're going to have a horse that figures out, oh, when I rear, all pressure goes away, because you've originally asked them to rear and pressure has gone away. So a lot of things can go wrong. I have learned that the hard way with Rose and Skyla, where they would rear up under saddle. So be cautious in teaching this. I also like to make my cues very long. So depending on the horse, with Rose and Skyla, I had to, and I'll demonstrate with Kimanie, I've never done this with her. I've had to pull the rope tight, step in forward, put my arms up with the whip in one hand, crack it down, and then pop them on the shoulder. And all that together made them want to rear, and that's what their cue was. And eventually it got to the point where I could do it without a halter, and I could just stand there, and they wouldn't rear until I cracked that whip down. And I eventually didn't have to tap their shoulder. I like to make my cues purposely long, so somebody's not going to go out there to play with Kimanie, whether it be a kid, an adult, somebody else may be riding her one day, and they're not going to give her maybe the sudden little hand cue that people teach, and then the horse is rearing up on them. Take responsibility as an owner and do what you need to do. Correct the way that you feel fit for your horse, and let's go have some fun and see how Kimanie does. Now let's be clear real quick. There are so many steps I think you should take before you teach a horse to rear. I do not think as soon as your horse is halter break, you should be teaching them to rear. I'm experimenting with her before I start her under saddle to teach her to rear, because I want to see if she still tries to do it under saddle. The other two horses I trained to do it, I waited until after they were broke, so I'm kind of experimenting. I think you should be able to back them up on the ground, nice and quiet and soft, head down. I think you should be able to move their forequarters, their hindquarters. You should be able to lower their head, make them relax. You should be able to lunge them, walk, trot, canter both ways, and you should be able to desensitize them. So, and maybe take them around, like I take her around the block on the train tracks, and lead them nice, quiet, and long line. That's personally what I look for before I teach them, and yeah. So as I said before, I'm going to tighten my lead rope. Might be a little hard with her because she's been taught to come off of it. I'm going to step in at her, fling the whip up, and crack it down beside her. If that doesn't work, I'll probably try tapping her on the shoulder after the crack. And I don't think she's going to rear on the very first time, but then again, I don't know. So let's go in, and please make sure if you're going to use a whip doing this, some people use ropes, some people use their hands. Whatever you're using, make sure you desensitize them to it afterwards so that they don't think every time they hear that noise or whatever that movement or see whatever that movement is, they don't think every single time they see that object or hear that sound or watch that movement that that's the cue to rear. I just can't stress the importance of correcting when you don't ask them to do it and desensitizing them to the object after. If not, you're going to have a horse that you can't control because you taught it how to rear and then the horse didn't get consequences when it did it without being asked. So please don't take this video with a grain of salt. As you can see, she's clearly terrified of the whip. So we're going to start, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to move her over here a little bit so you guys can see. So all I'm going to do is ask her to back up a little bit. I'm going to get my stance about like this. I'm going to tighten and do that. Now, I'm not going to correct her for anything unless she drags me. Because right there, she put her head up. That's kind of like the first signal to go up. So if you correct them for not rearing up, I don't think they're ever going to rear up unless it's out of fear, because you're not rewarding the small steps. Notice I'm not going right back to it over and over and over. I'm getting her settled down. I'm letting her rest. Letting her know, good job. And she's probably so confused right now because she's been taught not to react. So again, I'm going to pull. And that's okay. That is perfectly fine. She's lifting her head. She's not dragging me. Great first steps. Good job, Mama. This mirror's probably so confused. I'm going to back her up a little. I'm going to pull that rein tight. Good. I'm going to move her up a little bit. Just to get her mind on something else for a second. There. Again, pull my rope tight. There. Let her react how she's going to react. However she wants to rear up is fine. She's probably so confused. That's all I can think is she's probably thinking, do I do it? Do I not do it? Do I do it? Do I not do it? So I'm going to back her up. Make sure you got plenty of rope between you, because you don't want to be right here. And if they do go up, and some horses kick out when they rear, some don't. Rose did once in a while. Skyla kind of just reared with her legs straight. If they do kick out, you don't want that hoof coming and hitting you, and then you're going to get after the horse for it. It's not the horse's fault. You were asking him to do it, and you were too close. So, I'm going to back her up a little bit. Get the rein tight. There. So what I'm going to try here is a little tap on the shoulder. You can see she's coming in like, Mom, what's going on here? I'm going to try a little bit of a tap on the shoulder. And just see if that helps her understand it or not. There. There. So that seemed to help her get her head up a little higher. So what I'm going to do is the steps I was doing. Once I crack the whip, though, I'm going to take the whip back up and just give her a light tap on the side of the shoulder. That seemed to get her head up higher. I don't know if you guys can see clear over there or not. So we'll see if it works. Going back, desensitize her. I'm going to yield her butt out. There. So again here. There. I'm going to leave her alone right there. She lifted her feet up. So I'm just going to let her stand there for a second. Good job. It's so weird to be praising this, because 2 weeks ago, she was doing it out of, I'm going to say, annoyance or confusion. She wouldn't want to do something and be resisting quite a bit, and she would just rear. So every time she did it, I just whacked her knees. Not hard, kind of like what I'm doing to her shoulder. And she's one of those horses that picks things up pretty quickly. So I now know what my cue is to get her to stop when I'm not asking her to, is whacking on their knees, because I've already trained her. When I touch your knees and you're rearing up, it means no more. And she hasn't done it since. So, back her up. I'm going to bring her a little bit forward, tighten my rein. That's okay. So, what you can also do is pull them forward and do all these steps. So we're going to try that. That worked really well with Rose. I'm just going through things and remembering things that I did with the other horses that made it work. And I'm trying those. Did you notice I'm not beating on her? I'm not scaring her. She's getting ready for the cue right now. And I'll go through afterwards and lunge her and desensitize her and make sure she's not trying to get away or do the rear up. So I'm going to bring her forward a little bit. Bring her forward. Step. Crack. That's all right. There. We're doing this fresh without any work, so that's kind of new for her. She's used to kind of getting in here and going to work. So I'm going to bring her forward. There. I'm going to leave her alone. Notice I'm letting the rope slide. If I hold the rope tight the entire time, she's not going to be able to get air. She's not going to be able to get up. Good job. Now she doesn't have to get all the way up tonight. I could end right there. But it's been hot all day. It's going to be hot all week. It's supposed to rain all week at night. So I'm kind of getting in what I can. So this time I'm going to try it without bringing her forward. I'm just going to bring her forward a step or two. I'm going to straighten her out. There. She's a little worried. So I'm going to go back and desensitize her. If they get worried, go back and reassure them what they know. So I'm going to pull. Step there. Very good. Good. That was pretty. She is so confused. Look at her face. Good. So for her reward, I'm going to bring her in and love on her, and then I'm going to do something else for a second and just make her go a couple circles, get her mind on something else. There, I cracked the whip. She didn't rear. That means she's not associating that crack as she needs to rear at this point. Good. Go back into sensitizer. Good. She's not freaking out. All right, we'll come back and try it again. So her reward is first, and then putting her mind on something else is after. So I don't want her to think as soon as she's being asked to rear and as soon as she rears, she has to go right into work. Because then she's not going to want to do it. And I like using this because it gets them to play a little bit more. I feel like it gets their personality out a little bit more. I'm going to pull right there. So there I gave her 2 tries, and she just kind of backed away from me. That's okay. Bring her back. There. Good. 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 That's okay. Just raise your head a little bit. Good. Tighten up my rope. Step back. Good. Good girl. So I practiced a little bit off camera, and she's not really trying to rear anymore. I did get one little one like I did earlier on camera off of her, but I'm just going to leave that alone for the night, and I'm not going to push it. So that is going to end the first session. It's actually really humid out. I did some more lunging with her, getting her mind on me, paying attention. That's going to be the first session. Hope you guys enjoyed.